Hello there, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, Psychic Channel, Intuitive Astrologer, and Soul Coach. And I'm here to talk about my Psychic Development Tip number 3. Folks, this Psychic Development Tip is about positive thinking and self-responsibility. First of all, it is the power of positive thinking that is perhaps the most important thing that you will ever learn in the psychic field. It not only affects the speed and the success of your psychic development, it also affects every aspect of your life. Most everyone these days has heard of the law of attraction and understands the concept that you attract what you think. But it's one thing to understand a concept and an entirely different thing to be able to put it into action. In our society today, maintaining a constant flow of positive thoughts is hard. Most of us are surrounded by negative thinking people, and negative patterns of thought are contagious. But so are positive patterns of thought. Yeah, that's why this series of tips on positive thinking that begins here is so important. When you change your own thinking, you also change the world. The positive thinking psychic development tip I'm giving here is about self-responsibility. That's right. It's about self-responsibility. Think about that. The first step in learning to control your own thought patterns and shift them into a positive way of thinking is to accept full responsibility for everything that you allow yourself to think. That means accepting full responsibility for every single aspect of your life right now. The good things and the bad things. We're always happy to accept responsibility for creating the good friendships we've attracted into our lives and the promotion that we're up for at work. But very few of us want to accept responsibility for our teenage child who keeps acting out, who doesn't want to go to school, or the company that we're working for that is downsizing and laying us off. Yet it's important to know that your thought patterns over the years have created all of these things. If you spend most of your time thinking about how much you hate work, or gossiping with your friends about the bad boss or the company you work for never doing enough for its employees, why should you be surprised that the company is doing poorly, needing to cut back and laying people off? And that's just an example. Now consider this. If you manifest everything you think, how much more powerful is group thought? Yeah, many people thinking alike, group thought. Group thought has created the society that you are now living in. That is almost scary, because right now we're living in a very negative one. And it's scary until you recognize that positive group thought can change the world in an instant. That's right, an instant. And in a good way. You would do well to seek out friends and groups that demonstrate positive thinking and problem solving, instead of constant negative complaining. At this stage in your development, when you are just awakening, it's important to have the support of other positive thinkers. The powerful thing about becoming fully self-responsible is that you are able to reflect and accept all of your creations, good and bad. This should not be done with remorse or guilt. Those negative emotions just feed back into the negative thought pattern loop, and you get to create more of the same. Instead, you should merely reflect in a way that allows you to see how the creation process works for you. What's done is done. Let it go. Replace all those negative thoughts about your past creations with new, positive ones. Each time you shut down a negative thought process and move it to a positive one, you not only feel better, you shift your future path in life to one of joy, happiness, and you're able to create the life that you want to live. A very huge part of psychic development is learning to control which thoughts you allow yourself to think. There's no time like the present to start. Since as I write this, we are at the beginning of the holiday season, why not plan a holiday experience this year that gives you the joy and fulfillment that your heart seeks? If others want to surround themselves with negative thoughts, like who didn't show up for dinner, change the subject. Focus on all of the great people who are there. Walk away from the conversation if you have to. Refuse to allow your mind or your entire self to be drawn into negative thought patterns. Because if your mind is, the rest of you goes too. Set yourself free. When you add the concept of being responsible for creating your own positive thought patterns to my tip number 2 on journaling, you have the beginning of a process that will encourage the development of all of your psychic skills. Wow. I'm Sandy Anastasi. So glad you stopped by to listen to this. And I'm inviting you to visit my website. I'm at www.sandyanastasi.com. You can visit anytime, check out my classes, my readings, I still do them, and be part of a positive thinking movement. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now.